The first time it happened, it wasn't planned. It wasn't even spoken about. It was just there, waiting. And the strangest part is, it began on what should have been an ordinary trip. Nothing more than a weekend by the coast. A daughter and her father. Two people who'd spent years pretending not to need each other. But sometimes, the silence between two souls grows so heavy that the smallest spark can set fire to everything you thought you knew. My name is Hannah Carter, and this is the story I never thought I'd tell, the story of how a trip with my father changed us forever. After my mom passed, the world fell quiet. Dad, Michael Carter, and I still lived in the same house, but it was as though we were strangers haunting different rooms. He carried his grief like a locked chest, and I carried mine like a chain. We didn't fight. We didn't yell. We just drifted. But one early spring morning, something shifted. I don't even remember who suggested it. Maybe it was him. Maybe it was me. But we packed light, just one bag each, and drove toward the coast. Neither of us said why. Neither of us admitted we needed it. But somewhere deep down, I think we both knew we couldn't keep living as ghosts in the same house. The drive was quiet at first. The kind of quiet that pressed against the windows. A few comments here and there about the trees or the way the light hit the road, but nothing meaningful. Still, when the ocean finally appeared wide and silver like it had been waiting for us, something in my chest loosened. The air smelled of salt and wildflowers. I slipped off my shoes, feeling the cool sand, the breeze brushing my cheeks. When I turned to Dad, I expected the usual blank expression, the tired grief in his eyes. But instead, I saw something else. A softness. A peace I hadn't seen in years. He smiled, quiet but real. We didn't need words in that moment. The waves spoke for us. That afternoon, we walked along the shore, shoes in hand, pants rolled up as the surf chased our steps. Dad pointed out bits of driftwood, seashells, sea glass. For the first time in years, I laughed. Really laughed. He told me stories from his youth, things I'd never heard. In his voice, I heard the echoes of my childhood, the man who once carried me on his shoulders through beach bonfires and fireworks. As the sun dipped low, painting the horizon in fire and lavender, we found a weathered log and sat together. He reached for my hand, and my breath caught. That hand, the one that once steadied my bike, that held mine when I was small, that passed me popcorn at movie nights. It felt so familiar, yet suddenly it felt different. Fragile. Electric. I squeezed back, and something inside me shifted in ways I couldn't name. That night, we built a fire on the sand. Sparks climbed into the night sky as if trying to touch the stars. I told him about my life, my work, my fears, dreams I'd never dared to share. And he listened. Really listened. His eyes never left mine. Then he told me about his regrets, the mistakes he never voiced, the boy he once was before he became the man who raised me. His voice softened, and in the firelight, he looked younger, or maybe just more human. In those hours, we weren't father and daughter. We were two souls who had carried pain too long and had finally set it down. The next morning, I woke to the sound of waves. Dad was already outside, wrapped in a blanket, staring at the horizon. I joined him, the sunrise washing us both in gold. He didn't look at me at first. He just whispered, "This was a good idea." I nodded, too choked up to answer. That silence felt like a promise we wouldn't let ourselves drift apart again. The rest of the weekend was quiet, gentle. We wandered through the local market, stalls filled with handmade jewelry, wood carvings, paintings of the sea. I picked up a necklace of sea glass and held it up. "Do you like it?" I asked. His eyes lingered on me, soft. "It's beautiful," he said, his voice low. "Just like you." My breath caught again. He'd said things like that before when I was little. But this time, it didn't feel the same. It felt heavier. Warmer. Like something had changed. Later, we sat by the harbor, seagulls circling above, the water slapping gently against the docks. I finally found the courage to speak. "I missed you," I whispered. He looked at me then, really looked. His eyes glistened. "I missed you too, Hannah. I'm sorry I wasn't always there." When he reached for my hand again, neither of us let go. The silence wrapped around us like a tide pulling us closer. That night, on our last walk along the beach, the sky was streaked with rose and lavender. He turned to me. "We'll do this again," he said. "More often. Life's too short to wait." I leaned against his shoulder, tears quietly falling. "I promise," I whispered. Back at the cabin, the rain began to fall, tapping softly against the windows. We curled up near the fireplace, wrapped in blankets. The sound of the storm outside, the warmth of his shoulder beside me, it felt like home. Not the home we'd lost, but something new. Something fragile, unspoken, and dangerously close to crossing lines neither of us wanted to admit. At one point, he pulled out a small notebook, its pages soft and worn at the edges. Inside was a folded letter, written in his careful handwriting. He handed it to me. "My dearest," it began. "From the moment you first held my hand to the woman you are now, I've watched you with awe. Your laughter, your kindness, your strength, these have been the best parts of my life. I haven't always known how to show it, but please know, I am proud of you. Always." My vision blurred. I looked up at him, my heart pounding. "This means everything," I whispered. He didn't answer right away. He just held my gaze. His eyes told me more than words ever could. That night, we stayed by the fire, speaking softly until sleep overtook us. And when the morning came, the road stretched before us like a new beginning. As we drove home, I caught his eye in the rearview mirror. He smiled, faint but full. "Thank you," he said quietly, "for this." I smiled back, my chest full, though I didn't know what to call the feeling. "Thank you, Dad, for coming with me." And as the car carried us forward, the ocean fading behind us, I knew this wasn't just another memory. It was something more. A bond. A promise. Something unspoken, something dangerous, but something real. And that's how, by accident, we performed something neither of us expected. A closeness that blurred lines, reshaped us, and left me forever questioning where love ends, and where something else begins.